Hi, friends. Let's get right into it.
I saw the Aether's gate swing wide, and a great voice, like the roaring of an ocean, resounded across the heavens. Let all lands rejoice, for the last and most beautiful is born. Hail to the Prince of Delight! All praise the Lord of Pleasure. Then a figure appeared at the gate, tall as the highest mountain, and graceful as a coiling mist. Both man and woman was he, and neither of these as well, wrapped in a cloud of purest white, with 6 stars upon his brow. His coronet and mark of his glory, all beauty was he, and all desire was his name. For the multitudes gathered there fell silent at the sight of him. When he spoke, his words were as honey across my soul. For as the rising sun brings the coldest of night to its end, so have I come to bring an end to toil and bitterness. Let every land set aside their wrath and despair, and release the empty promises of change, for I am the joy of now, and the vindication of life. I will love you as no other has or ever will, and you shall love me in turn. With your bodies, with your minds, and with your souls. I shall be your wife and your husband, your mistress and your lover, and in my arms you will find purpose and delight. Pleasure beyond all imagination is mine to bestow, if only you take me into your hearts. That was the opening of Slaanesh's chapter in Libra Chaotica. Today I want to talk about the Invaders of Slaanesh, the Invader host. But before we do that, I found some interesting information in the Lord of Pain, not the Lord of Pain, the Shadow and Pain box set story about Slaanesh and how the worshippers and followers reacted and what happened after he was captured. As we know, the elven gods Malarian, Marathi, Teclis, and Tyrion captured Slaanesh, put him in a realm between Haish and Ulgu, chain him up with like some paradoxical magical chains that Slaanesh has slowly been breaking. But what did the followers do? Obviously, they noticed that Slaanesh was gone, but what did that look like? Well, it came in the form of their offerings and prayers were not answered. It took more extreme methods to summon demons, and demons had a harder time staying around, which I think is a interesting point because up till I read that, I was under the assumption that demons didn't have a problem with sticking around in the physical worlds like they do in 40k or Warhammer Fantasy. So if that's changed, and that's widespread for all demons, that'd be interesting. But I think it'd be more interesting if that is a side effect of Slaanesh being captured. If anybody has the answer to that, please let me know. I'm very interested. But with that, it did seem like the elves actually beat Slaanesh, and they won. However, as Shadow and Pain puts it, excess of adversity is still excess. During the Age of Chaos, the Hedonites, like all the other Chaos factions, grew in power. Unlike the other factions, the Slaaneshi followers did not unite behind a single strong leader, like we saw with Khorne, or swore mighty oaths to their god. Rather, they fell back under their obsessions, which we'll see with the Invaders host when we get to that point. Slaanesh being trapped in Olgaish, the realm between Ulgu and Haish, wasn't strong enough, or the chains that bound him there weren't strong enough to snuff out his influence and power. She was able to still grant boons to the followers, but the followers had to be the most depraved of them all to be given anything. And each of the three hosts, the three factions or subgroups of Slaanesh, reacted with these boons in different ways. The Godseekers saw it as proof that the Dark Prince could be found, that they didn't lose, and obviously Slaanesh is not in a normal type prison. So that just pushed them along and made them more dedicated for the search. The Pretenders claimed the boon came from their own godliness rather than Slaanesh, so used it as proof that they are a god and destined to take Slaanesh's throne. Excuse me. And the Invaders didn't really care either way. It helped them find battle, helped them win in battle, helped them get the sensations they were looking for.
Speaking of invaders, the invaders are where the majority of Slaanesh's followers fall into. They seek just to conquer things, really. They seek out battle due to the wide variety of experiences and sensations you can find on the battlefield. Their big picture, like their grand scheme, their plan, isn't that grand. It's just capture, take lands, corrupt it, and keep going. Though these conquests aren't a mindless, bloody thing that you'd find with an army of corn, say, or something that is about turning land into something unrecognizable like you'd find with Nurgle, or maybe even Hazeech. It's more of a creating a beautiful work of art, and the battlefield is their canvas where they get to express themselves. And when I say battlefield, I mean literally the battlefield, because in the wake of an invader's attack, you might find the corpses of the fallen in a gory tableau in symmetrical pattern spirals and rows of hacked off limbs planted in the ground like it's a field of poppies. Or you might even find the corpses of their enemies like swapping, like entangled and swapped heads and their bodies. Some even with the riders and their mounts, like just swapped and put together. Or you might see them in like cliche like court dance, frozen in like a grisly, bloody, like the Red Wedding type of thing would be like if they all got shot up, but still kept going. It's the invaders. They see themselves as traditionalists and believe that the more of the mortal realms that they conquer, the stronger Slaanesh will become, and in turn allowing the Dark Prince to break free of whatever prison or holding she might be in. We have a named Invaders warband that we got in Wrath of the Everchosen. They're known as the Lord Haze, and when they enter their battlefield, they announce their presence by unleashing a great billow of suffocating perfumed mist. This mist can spread over the whole battlefield, concealing their movement and heightening every sensation.
There is a named Invaders warband known as the Lord Haze. These folk enter the battlefield, and when they do, they announce their presence by unleashing great billows of a suffocating perfumed mist. This mist can spread all over the battlefield, which conceals their movement and allows them to strike out and demolish their enemies in a ritual bloodletting, more or less. And this mist also heightens every sensation. After they attack, they could easily slip back into the mist, allowing for them to engage in hit and run tactics. They originally come from the Ogulian Fade Lands, which are mystic canyons in Olgu. But now they kind of just spread across and become a scourge for all the realms. They have an incense made from perfumed hides of their victims and a blend of forbidden ingredients, tears of tormented prisoners, droplets of fragment demon blood, and other exotic stuff. And this fragrance, this perfume, is known as prince's skin. When it's burned, it gives off a sweet-smelling smoke, enhancing their killing instincts and obscuring the enemy's views. Obviously, this not only helps hide them on the battlefield, but it also has helped them hide from Marathian Malarian's views and retribution. Uh, since they are not that they're not pleased with Slaanesh being in their realm. Typically, the warband leader will have an incense with them of the prince's skin burning for when they go into battle or moving. So
I thought that was a little fun information.
that was a quick little rundown and overview of Invaders of Slaanesh. With the new book coming out, we will see if there's any updates or changes to the Invaders. Next, we're going to be looking at the God Seekers because in Shadow and Pain, most of the story is about God Seekers. I didn't know that at the time when I first started writing all this, so that's what's going to be up next. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know with a like or a comment. If not, also let me know. Alright, have a great day. Thank you.